I am going to show you how we can use AI to improve emails that we send to customers, help overcome objections. So on your email Outlook, you will notice a new colorful icon over here. So you click on it. This is called Copilot, which is Outlook's AI platform. And the way I'm going to show you today how you can use it is to draft an email to a customer to propose pricing. For the purpose of this video, so you don't watch me type everything in here, but you can type anything you want. You could say, "Hi, I need your help to write an email." So to make this video shorter, I already kind of wrote what I would write inside Copilot. So just to go over it, say, "Can you write an email to my customer, Bill, at ABC Inc.?" So I'm giving the name of the customer and the name of the company. I want your help to present a new electric rate for his 2 locations. And then I put the actual addresses. Then I wrote what he's currently paying. So he's currently paying 7.89 cents with Constellation, and his contract goes to January 2026. I then write what the new rate is. So I negotiated a lower rate, 7.34 for 24 months with Direct Energy. And I put that in there. Because I'm switching him from Constellation to Direct Energy, I just said that Direct Energy is a very reliable supplier that we've worked with for over 24 years, and that we can schedule the new rate to start when his current agreement with Constellation expires. Then I ask, "Hey, can you include in this email the reason that I'm suggesting he signs this contract now, even though he's covered for the next 6 months. So the reason I suggest renewing his contract now is because according to the current predictions, general US electricity prices will be increasing through 2026. And then I tell Copilot some instructions. I say, "Give me a user-friendly overview of the energy market and why it's expected to increase. Include information about natural gas supplies and exports, increasing natural gas prices, and why that's relevant, general wholesale electricity prices in the US, and their increase." So I'm asking Copilot to do that. I'm not doing it. He's going to do it. And then I say, "Suggest that he, my client, move forward with this. And if he wants, I will send him a contract and go ahead and schedule the new rate that we found for him." And then I give Copilot another command here, which is I tell it to create a simple savings analysis of what it would cost if he stayed on his current rate for the next 24 months vs my new rate, and include his local utility, ComEd, that is currently charging 10.12 cents per kilowatt hour. And it's important that if you're going to ask for a price analysis or savings analysis, that you write how much kilowatt hours your customer uses so that ChatGPT can think with that. So I wrote that my customer uses 235,000 kilowatts per year. Okay, so usually I would type all of this right in here, or you can even dictate it. You can actually just talk to Copilot. But for the simplicity of this video, we're just going to cut and paste it in there as if I had typed it all in there directly. And then you press this little arrow. As you can see, it's thinking, and it's basically executing your command. Okay. So here's the email that you would essentially send to the customer. Now, it's important that you review it before sending it to the customer so you make sure it's correct. But essentially it says, "Hi Bill, hope you're doing well. I wanted to reach out with a great opportunity to reduce your electricity costs for both your locations." It states the address. "You're currently paying 7.89 with Constellation, and your contract ends in January 2026. I've negotiated a new rate, 7.34 for 24 months with Direct Energy, a highly reliable supplier we've worked with for over 20 years. This new rate can be scheduled to begin seamlessly when your current agreement expires." And then it has "Why act now?" It says the US energy market is showing signs of upward pressure on electricity prices through 2026. This is largely due to rising natural gas prices, and it explains that, and it even gives a reference. "Increased wholesale electricity costs," again, it gives a reference, again from Bloomberg. "Volatility in global energy markets," and this is from the New York Times. "Locking in a fixed rate now protects you from these fluctuations and ensures budget stability." And then it gives you a cost comparing and savings. So it did the analysis right there. So it says current rate, you would be paying this for 24 months. At the new rate, you would be paying this. If you stuck with the utility, or if you went back to the utility, this is what you would be paying. And then it says right here, as you can see, switching to the new rate will save you $2,585 compared to staying with your current rate, and a substantial $13,000 compared to local utility rate, ComEd. Then the next steps. If you'd like to move forward, I can send over a contract, blah, blah, blah. It signed it for me because this is my account, but usually it'll sign it with your signature. So what we're going to do now is we're going to copy this by pressing the copy. Then you're going to go to your email, and you go into the email with Bill, and then you just cut and paste it. Now, very important, when you cut and paste it, you just have to make sure that you cut out the part that ChatGPT says, hey, here's a professional email. So you just literally cut that out. You can take, this is the subject line, so I'm just going to go ahead and paste it there. And then at the bottom, again, very important that you delete this part here where Copilot is telling you, hey, here's an email. So you kind of have to delete a little bit from the bottom and the top. It's included the references right here. And if you wanted to, you can even include a link to Ray's last report if it's relevant. Here's our last report. And then you can grab that from the website and just throw it in there. Essentially, this is an email. You can correct it as much as you want or fix it, but it's written the email for you. It's perfect. There's no typographical errors. And if you like it, then you can send it. Okay, let's go back here. Let's say you didn't like it. You don't like the Y act now. You can actually get Copilot to change just that. So you say, keep the entire email exactly the same. So in other words, you're talking to it as if it's your assistant, but change the Y act now section. Be more convincing. And it's going to go ahead and just change that. So it looks like what it's doing is it's giving more information on each point, and it's a little bit more convincing. So in short, this is a rare opportunity to secure a low rate in a rising market. Acting now ensures you're protected from future increase and gives you peace of mind through January 2028. All right, now you go ahead and send that email. If you want, you can cut and paste this new section. You're like, oh, I like that better. You go back to your email and you just fix the Y act now part. You just paste the new one and then you can send it. Now, we can actually go back to Copilot, and you see here where we asked Copilot to write that email, this whole chat, it's called a chat. It stores every chat you do. What would be very smart is if you take this and you rename it. So you go on the chat, you click on the little three dots, and you rename the chat. And you can name it by the customer, Bill ABC Inc. Every time you use this, you can just log a customer, and when you need to update the email or write a new one, you just go back to that customer. So let's just pretend that the customer wrote us back. Hi, Sean. Thank you so much for your email. I've taken this up with my CEO, and we've decided to wait until January 2026 to see where rates will be at that time. Bill. So he kind of said no. We could say, oh, great, I'll call you back later. Or we can ask Copilot to write us an objection handling email. I tell Copilot, my customer wrote back, blah, 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 blah. Please write him a convincing email that 1, tries to find out what their real concern is with moving forward. 2, explains a little bit more about my reasoning as to why they should sign up for a rate now. And 3, suggests that if needed, we can hop on a call with him and the CEO so I can help answer any questions. And I'm writing a little command here to Copilot. I say, include a sentence or two that justifies why I'm being persistent in a soft, almost funny way while still being professional. Okay. So I'm kind of being persistent, so I want to be kind of light about it. So again, I just pasted it in there. Usually I would type it directly in there. So then we go. Okay. So here you can see Copilot is writing the objection handling. Thanks so much for getting back to me. I really appreciate you taking the time to discuss this with your CEO. I completely understand the decision to wait, but I wanted to follow up briefly to see if there's a specific concern behind the hesitation. Is it the market outlook, supplier preference, timing, or something else? I'd love to better understand your perspective so I can help address it directly. The reason I'm being a bit persistent and maybe just a little annoying in a well-meaning way, is because I genuinely believe this is a smart move for your business. Locking in a 7.34 kilowatt hour rate now, set to begin when your current contract ends, gives you a solid hedge against the rising energy costs we're seeing across the boards. It's not about rushing a decision, but rather securing a good position while the opportunity is still available. If it would be helpful, I'd be more than happy to schedule a call, and then that. Let me know what works best for you, and thanks again for considering this. You take this and you go back to that conversation you've been having and you paste it in there, and there you go. Before you press send, always take a look at the email, make sure it looks clean, and you can always reword whatever you want here. But this is a simple way that we can, number one, keep track of all the communications you've been having with Bill and the email and what Copilot said. Here you could say, okay, Bill still wants to wait. Please set a reminder for me to call him in December 2025. Copilot is actually going to remind you to call Bill in December 2025 as long as you have this chat. If you delete it, then he won't. And I'll help you prepare a call script or updated market insight closer to this time. So you can even, if you're going to call Bill, let's just say it's now December 2025, Copilot reminds you that you need to call Bill, and you go, what should I tell him? Make it very short, as it will be a phone call, so not a long email. So now it's going to tell you what to say in a phone call. Now, of course, you already know what to say in a phone call, but sometimes it words things very nicely. Another cool feature I want to show you is that Copilot can actually create like savings analysis and charts. Please take that original saving analysis you created, but make it into a bar chart. I've asked Copilot to create a bar chart. So there you go. So that's the current rate, the new rate, the utility rate. And you can actually just copy the image. So I right-clicked, copy image, and just paste that right into an email. Bam. This can also process more complicated charts. I'm just showing you a very simple example, but you can ask for more complicated charts and savings analysis. So there you have it. If you start to use Copilot, then you will slowly but surely learn more about it. Consider it like your digital assistant. Talk to it the same way you would talk to a person. Make sure you tell Copilot who you are, what you want. As much specifics, don't worry about overloading it. He's very, very smart. He will track and learn, and as you constantly use it, Copilot is recording all these conversations you're having with customers. So in the future, it will be able to write emails better. If you don't like the way he wrote something and you say, next time I ask you to write an email, I want you to say this instead of this. So like, for example, when you write emails about future pricing, don't ever use words that promise future savings because we never know. So I've given him a command. Don't ever promise savings. And he says, I'll make sure all future emails about pricing use reassuring but not definite language. No promises. You're talking to him as an assistant. He has a great memory. You can log all your customers by customer here. And the next time, even 2 years down the road, when you go back to that customer, you find that customer, it's time to renew again. Let's, generate an email. So I hope that helps. And the more you use it, the more you'll understand how it works. Its capabilities are endless. It's really, really smart. So don't worry about overloading it or giving it too much information. You can also talk to it. So if I was wanting to talk to it, I could say, hey, Copilot, can you help me write an email to my customer Bill again? I want to just remind him that this is the best opportunity and the best rate, and that I've checked with many different suppliers. And I only showed him this one because it was so much lower than anything else I found, and it's really a great opportunity, and that I will follow up with him in December. It wrote everything I said, so I talked to it, and then you just press send and it will create the email. There's a quick lesson on AI. If you have any questions while using AI, feel free to ask me, Martino, or Sandra, and I hope that we can use AI to our advantage. Yeah.